Managing risks, the risk and opportunity register. In this video, what I want to talk about is the importance of the risk and opportunity register. But let me anchor you back. If you have followed the Elevating Pre-Construction Planning book and that overall guide, you'll know about two things. Number one, a risk analysis, and number two, a reference class. This is listed in the book, How Big Things Get Done, and in our book, Elevating Pre-Construction Planning. And the point here is that in pre-construction, the ideal is that for your project, number one, you will, in pre-construction, go through a fresh eyes meeting and look at and identify with a team of people, your fresh eyes, the risks that could possibly happen. And we either need to get rid of the risks through proper planning, we need to cover them with contingency or allowances when it merits, or we need to be willing to absorb the impact, which people will rarely do. But wishful thinking is not a strategy. And so every risk that we figure out in pre-construction that is going to go on your risk and opportunity register needs to be listed with the amount of days that we are experiencing from a risk standpoint and how many dollars and who is responsible to get rid of this risk. And this is going on your register. And this will be discussed every week in your weekly team meetings. Also opportunities like, hey, if I use a different type of equipment, we can gain this much. Or hey, because of the way the contract is written, if we have one more field engineer, we get labor gains. Or here's another example. Hey, we own our own tower crane. And instead of using the mobile crane to erect the air handlers, we can keep the tower crane for 6 more weeks. We get rental on that. We get gains on that. We can earn another $120,000 on that, right? So your risks and what we stand to lose and your opportunities and what we stand to gain. This risk and opportunity register being monitored throughout construction in the Team Weekly Tactical is huge. Now, the other part of that is that you've already done a reference class forecast. That means you've taken your project and looked at historical examples of how long it took them to build the project and at what cost. And you aggregate those and you throw out the outliers, obviously, but your average of either the duration and budget or the overrun for the duration and the overrun for the budget needs to be considered in your project. And what we do is we plan our current project's deadlines and budget based on our reference class, not wishful thinking. And so what we're asking you as LeanTakt and Elevate to do is to know your biggest risks, stay ahead of them, talk about them on a weekly basis so that you can literally prevent the risks and gain for your opportunities, because this will all tie to your bottom line. So please ask one of our engineers or managers for the register. We'll show you how to use it. We'll demo it with you in your team meetings, however you want to do it. But this is great project management and it will really enable the rest of the system. And in fact, the reason we're telling you this is because you'll start to get so good at execution in the field with your trade partners that then design and procurement will become your bottleneck, or your biggest risks will become your bottleneck, or some supply chain issue will become your bottleneck. So we want to get ahead of that with the risk and opportunity register and manage that aspect as well. So please ask us for help. We are asking you to please implement this in your Team Weekly Tacticals. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.